What a wonderful way to begin our celebrations. The way Veena has gracefully performed every step, every grace, with all the rhythm. I think it is really, really nice to see and the talent. Thank you so much, Veena. Let's give them a round of applause and we begin with the next segment of our event.
To officially open the CSR Summit 2026 and set the vision for today's transformative dialogues, we now invite the CEO of CSR Now, Ms. Dhruv Rathee to deliver the welcome note.
Can we have Raga Samarthita on the stage, please? Yes.
Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the third edition of the CSR Summit. I am Raga Samarthita, and I warmly welcome you all here today. As a CEO, it is an absolute honor to be standing right in front of you, where we have impact leaders, visionaries, and our very own innovators. We're all here with a unified impact. We all here think that we have to make a lasting difference in the world. Our theme this year is from change to legacy. So they say that change is the only constant, right? But the ones that are short term are not really enough. When we say they're not enough, by that I mean we have to aim for the legacy. Legacy is a long way to go, you see. Legacy is our destination. So today, I'm thinking, let's all think beyond the quick results. Let's collaborate, change old ideas, and build solutions that are strong enough to lead the society ahead. Thank you so much for being here today. I know this is a short intro, but please wait for the longer dhamaka that we're going to lead today, and let's shape the legacy together. Thank you so much. Looking forward to create a bigger impact.
Hello. Well, thank you so much, Raga, for setting the context, for setting the tone of our event. Now, that is something the CSR South Summit's vision. It is very powerful. It is driven to make changes, and also these changes will last long time, lifetime. They are socially very much impacting and also lasting a social change in all of us. So, thank you so much, Raga. Now, moving on to the next part of our event, we would like to commence the keynote addresses. Commencing our keynote addresses, it is a distinct privilege to introduce our first keynote speaker, Ms. Soumini Sunkara, the founder of Agrighar. May I request Ms. Soumini Sunkara to please come on the stage and deliver the keynote address.
Dr. Soumini Sunkara is a passionate nation builder committed to transforming rural livelihoods through women empowerment, food entrepreneurship, and community development. Through her flagship initiative Agrighar, she is building India's largest ecosystem for rural food processing entrepreneurs, empowering women and youth with skills, technology, and market access. Through BAM and BMAN Global, she enables women to become successful entrepreneurs while connecting rural producers to national and global markets, driven by the belief that entrepreneurship creates dignity, financial independence, and lasting prosperity. Dr. Soumini continues to inspire thousands of women to to become empowered wealth creators.
We request Ms. Soumini Sankara, the founder of Agrigar, to please come on the dais and address the audience. Ma'am, you can use the podium, ma'am. Next podium, yes, you can please use our podium.
Good morning all, a warm welcome to CSR Summit, and it's a grand privilege for me to stand before you to speak about what I've been working from past 10 plus years. I have been working on transforming this food systems. As we all know that farmers are in distress just because they don't know where to. Can someone help me with the presentation, please? Yeah, before I don't want to waste much of your time. While the presentation glitch gets cleared, I have been doing this. I finished my PhD in ICRISAT. While working in Rural Development Department, I realized that farmers are failing to take their next generations further, being the reason that they're not seeing the agriculture anymore profitable. That's where I have changed the vision of what I'll be talking further would be like. There is a lot of food which we fail to address. It's not because the farmers are not producing, neither it's not about they are failing in agriculture system. There is a huge system which is available. The farmers are, though they struggle a lot to produce from seed to every day they see the sunshine, they also make sure that they take care of the seed as their child, but that we need to address that whether it's the entire produce is getting into our plates. We are talking about 40% of loss of the harvested produce which is not reaching today. We are talking about $1.3 billion of structure where we need to ensure. Just a second. Yeah. This 33% it's not reaching consumers itself. So this is where we need to actually work on. Everyone being the professional here needs to think beyond agriculture, beyond production, beyond the farm level, and that's where we stand before you. And there is a lot of food insecurity because in fact, if we can save this food and ensure that it reaches to the consumers, and we can also feed the hunger. Next slide. Yeah, we all know that farmers are well versed in production. We have agriculture system in place, the entire technology is in place, but the real gap is they are not able to get the benefit of it. That's where we come as providing a solution. In fact, the loss of value is lack of proper infrastructure at their source. This is the solution which we needs to be working. In fact, there's a lot of structure which we have to ensure that we work on the logistics, connecting the farm level produce to the consumer, you and me, who includes, and the major difference where we have to address is processing infrastructure, because the farmers are now selling in the form of raw produce, but what we eat is not what is grown. So that's where we want to propose here. which also prevents from ruling out the middleman and also making this the true share value of the farmer to reach to their pockets. Next slide. Yeah, the opportunity is again the global food requirement is going to increase by 70% by 2050. That's where tomatoes, you keep thinking about it, what we can do. But what if we create that processing facilities near them and we fund them, we support them, we handhold them, and then ensure that their produce is not just lost into the manure but also made them into value. Like we can make different value systems like dehydration, making into powders, or getting into value addition such as sauces and everything. But these should be what the next slide. The next our proposal is like these should be community owned. In fact, farmer owned. We have been working from past 10 years with the community organizations such as SHG Women and farmer organizations. We have beautiful structures in India now where we are talking about 50,000 FPOs which are already formed by central and state governments, but they need a direction. That is where we come forward and make sure that they reduce the post-harvest losses, enter into the value chain, adapt to the processing and value addition as the major role, and then ensure that local food systems are developed through their structures. Next slide. Previous slide. Previous. Yeah, our flagship model is now existent very evidently in Chautapal Industrial Estate. We have a 12,000 square feet facility where we are talking about integrating that farm level to the plate, where we have an integrated training facility attached to the manufacturing facility where people come to get trained on the manufacturing. No matter what they grow, what we have a solution today is like whether the farmer is growing a rice, millet, dals or cold press oil, we have a processing facility there where we train them to get into value addition, make them understand the value of the product, what they are producing, and ensure that the benefit get passed on. We also help them to build up branding onto their names, and they also get recognized. See, today we are also are in the need of the hour where we have to recognize these farmers. No matter what they are doing, they are failing. We are failing. We all fail to recognize them as professionals. And I make sure that farmer is the highest risk-taking entrepreneur. We should acknowledge that, and we need to ensure that we are giving that due respect to the farmer, because if you and me are working anywhere, it's all that we work for these 5 fingers to go into our mouth. And if you are not able to address the person who is doing at the farm level, and if he is not happy, so what are we working on? This is the concern what we want, and our infrastructure is like includes training, processing, facilitation, linking to government schemes or the funding sources where they also get support from organizations, because they are almost in the verge of ending up farming and everyone is converting into real estate. So this is the need of the hour. We need to question ourselves whether we want food onto our plate or we want nutraceuticals or any other material onto us, feeding us. Everyone needs food, so this is the concern where we have to ensure to be there. It's the model which can be actually easily replicable, and it's a scalable model what we have built. We have also established in a half-acre model which is actually very adaptable by anyone. People don't really think about half-acre, but if the value addition goes on from the primary processing, warehousing, primary processing to secondary processing to packaging and everything. Today we have a model there where we want to address the post-harvest losses and reduce them up to 50%, increase the farmer's income by 3x, and also ensure that value addition happens at the source. And in fact, we need to also ensure the nutrition factor of these farmers, because they are also failing to have the good food onto their plates. So there's again a lot of things which we can do. By enabling these structures at the rural areas, we also help the rural youth not to migrate for jobs to the so-called cities or towns, but rather create themselves opportunities there where they feel that they are not the laborers or workers anymore, but they convert into entrepreneurs and the owners. Next slide. Next slide, please. the strong call for action is like, let us join together, partnering with all the stakeholders and the value chain, all the CSR stakeholders, academic institutions, and we are open to collaborate and ensuring that we work hand in hand. See, the CSR summit itself is like growing together and collaborating is the mission what every one of us have been assembled. And if you are talking about investing in climate smart agriculture, making IoT based detection systems where the solutions can be in the form of prevention rather than curing, so we need to address in that format. Transforming these food systems also should happen at the community level because they are the source of food what we are eating, so they should be converted, considered as the owners, not like any laborer or any swings, and converting these SHGs or FPOs into these enterprising because they are failing to come to market. So let us work, let the youth or the entrepreneurs who are sitting in the cities can convert into link to markets, but let them be just advanced from producers to processors. Next slide. Thank you, and sorry for the technical glitch which I would say, and we ensure that this model can be replicable, and we expect everyone to consider this. We are also looking forward, we want to go into Pan India. Thank you for the opportunity.
Check. Thank you so much, Ms. Saumini Samkara, for this profound insights into the sustainable growth and entrepreneurship for agrarian growth. I am sure the audience also resonates with me on how impactful and fruitful this speech was. Moving forward, we are now moving on to the second keynote address to present our second keynote address. The second speaker we would like to welcome is Ms. Shri Jitesh V. Patil, IAS Managing Director, PGSPDCL. Shri Jitesh V. Patil, Garu, can we please have you on the stage?
Managing Director of the Southern Power Distribution Company of Telangana Limited. With a distinguished career in public service, he has consistently driven innovation, operational excellence, and people-centered governance. Passionate about building future-ready talent, Shri Jitesh Patil believes that skill development is a foundation of inclusive growth and a stronger nation. His leadership reflects a commitment to empowering communities, strengthening institutions, and creating opportunities that transform lives. Today at the CSR Summit, he shares his insights on CSR-driven skill development, building human capital for the future of infrastructure. His vision highlights how strategic CSR initiatives can bridge the skill gap, foster employability, and prepare the workforce for tomorrow's infrastructure ecosystem.
Okay, right. So on the red dot. So it's an honor to be here among such enlightened people, and it's always inspiring to be at CSR Summit. So what I do is the video might have shown you that mostly I'm working with soil and with people on the ground, and that's what I've loved always. And I think that that's where the change is. So I just start. Where do I point this? So I'm not here elected. So I would like to share with you what happens in a district and where the CSR comes into picture. So generally what happens is everyone is trying to figure out what is the best possible use for certain investment. So I'm here to share with you a district perspective. So why do we need CSR? So within 47 we have to become 7.5 times the size that we are right now, and that won't happen unless we invest in knowledge. So knowledge has to become the key to growth, right? So industries, we are even more ambitious. We want to grow at 6.6 growth rate, right? So and by 2047 We have to become the size of 22 times what we are right now. So that will only come when industry and communities come together and work on the change. So how do we do this? So often I see that many corporate entities or well-meaning organizations go to districts and they say, we want to put an RO plant. Believe me, nobody wants your RO plant. Stop putting these RO plants because there is piped water supply, there is treated water supply. So only for certain benefit of certain people, these RO plants are being put. So what is happening is the money, collective money is being squandered, it is being wasted, and it is very painful to see that so much of wealth is being thrown into useless activities. I know it might sound very harsh, but this is what is happening. So I urge all of you to invest in community assets. When you invest in community assets, there is no fighting over ownership, no individual, rights or those things coming to picture. So always avoid individual units trying to give something to one person so that people start fighting. That point doesn't arise. You invest in community assets. Secondly, please make something which is replicable and scalable. You do something for a village. Everybody wants to make a model village. One model village doesn't solve anything. Work on ideas. Take one idea, do something which is scalable, which is replicable. You do something in one village, it should be replicable in another village. Also go for something which is low maintenance, low operation. You set up an RO plant, the water cartridge gets damaged in 6 months, it's useless. Literally it will be like that. So always give something which can be maintained and operated by those communities, and they should not call you again ever. It's like fire and forget. Those kind of model we should work on. And that is where this concept I would like to share with all of you, something called mother unit. Always give something that creates life. Set up a nursery, set up a hatchery which creates the seed inputs. So that helps in the growth. So once you give that to the community, you don't have to look back at them ever again. They will keep running it. Similarly, try to set up sister units, something that gives input to these units. And then the daughter units will automatically come. Once mother and sister are there, everything falls in place. So, Dr. Swamini Garu also spoke. She's from ICRISAT, former ICRISAT, and I think she would agree with this approach. So what happens is everybody wants to give some unit to some people so that they will do Palabhishekam for them. It doesn't work, right? The idea will crumble, they will come back to you. If fail aindi, malli naku ivvandi. So how many people will you help again and again? Set up a mother unit, sister unit, and the daughters will be taken care of. So avoid consumables. Don't give palli patti and this millet packets and some pappu, nune, nothing. It doesn't work. It doesn't help anyone. Already they are getting ration from FP shops. They will survive. So please stop distributing consumables. It doesn't help anyone. Please stop recurring expenditure. Something that you keep paying again and again. It doesn't help anyone. Don't do any repairs. I would say, you might go to some place and you will say, we will do some repairs. Repairs, you invest, it is not visible at all. Where has the money gone? You won't be able to find. Okay. Right. So what should we do now? Okay. What should not be done? I have told. What should we do? In health department, you just have to ask the district health coordinator. There is someone called DCHS in every district. You go and ask him. Do you need an X-ray machine? Do you need TIFA scan machine to look at the infant scan or in the hospitals? That's it. You give that, and the whole generation is sorted. You will do service to great many people. Similarly, you ask the district medical health officer, do you need a blood analyzer? Do you need blood storage? You give that, and many mothers will find proper blood for their pregnancy and their delivery. Similarly, focus on menstrual hygiene. Nobody talks about menstrual hygiene, right? Everybody is like, it's a very taboo topic. Why not? The next generation is very much aware. We need to give them that support. Right? So, I heard this somewhere, no rash, no cash, no trash. I'm not a woman, but I can understand the hesitation that a woman or a girl child feels when they have to go to a shop, and then as if some secret is being packed, they will take those pads and go home, and then again disposal is a major issue. You know, in many government schools or residential schools or any other places, the toilets, you know, those kids like girl children, they don't know what to do with the used pad. So they try to put it in the toilet, it gets clogged and all. So this menstrual cup is such a simple thing, right? And it is long-term usable. It doesn't create environmental problem of trash also. So these are ideas which are very simple. Just 20 odd cups given to women with awareness, and the whole life problem is sorted out. So you can, so whom to meet, correct person you need to meet. So there is something called Zilla Samakhya, SHG Women Federation. You go and meet those women and you tell, Amma niku idi nu vaadtava nee iste, sare sir ivanti chusta, right? 20 cups you give and you trial with it, and 20 lives will be changed. Okay, so something, everybody wants to build something unique, right? Why not unique Anganwadis? Believe me, there are young architects who have great vision, great ideas. These designs don't cost more than 50 to 20 lakhs. But I find people will spend, you know, a huge lot of money on some random structures. So these are real designs from real architects. I think these are achievable. You imagine trying to study in such an Anganwadi, right? All of such fancy buildings you will find in corporate offices. But when someone wants to go and fund an Anganwadi, they will build some concrete walls and slabs, and then again after 1 year they will say, "Ee varsham padte kurustundi." Right? So I think traditional places we can build these things. So in education also, I think this is a list of the interventions which I find that keep failing. So there is, people try to build structures. They want to build walls and rooms. It doesn't work. Try to give them earth block making machines. There are machines that make simple bricks which are long-term usable. Stop trying to fund big buildings. You will end up running out of cash. So such machines cost hardly 3 lakh rupees. You give that machine and they will build the whole world with it. They just churn out the bricks. They don't need to pollute any other place. Similarly for books. So the library challenge is always there. People try to build libraries. Stop trying to do that. You can always give a set of tables, chairs and books. Similarly, there is the digital device challenge. So again, well-meaning people try to give computers. Computers need furniture, they need spike guard, they need voltage stabilizers and power supply and repairs. The easiest thing that you can give us a tab. A tab and a charger is much better than a computer. Similarly, try to avoid giving STEM material, robotics kit, electronics kit. There is no one who will teach those children how to use it. It will end up in a storage room. And lastly, again, I keep saying don't give RO plants, because why I keep saying that is, it is a failure idea. Okay. So I think this is the lowest hanging fruit. So when I was in Kottagudam, I was a sports secretary of my college when I was in IIT Delhi. So I'm not trying to flex here and all, but in 5 lakh rupees budget, I enjoyed so much of sports material in my college that it created a huge change in my friends also. So when I was in district, I spent all the CSR funds on sports, and I am so proud of the students of Bhadradri Kottagudam. We gave 20 cycles to a remote tribal residential school, and from there 3 girls won medals in state level cycling in 1 season. We set up a rifle shooting center, government rifle shooting center. Only 2 are there in the state, one in Hyderabad, one in Bhadradri Kottagudam. After setting up that rifle shooting center, within 6 months, 2 girls won state medals. You imagine how much talent is there in our Telangana. All you need to do is just invest in sports. Sports is the easiest thing that you can do. It is the easiest. So how you do that is, football doesn't need much. Give a bunch of cones and football and air pump and let them play. Give them some jerseys and studs. That's it. All of this will cost you hardly 1 or 2 lakh rupees. Whom to find? Go and ask the district youth sports officer. Where is the most active youth? You can give it to them. A kabaddi mat cost hardly 3 to 4 lakh rupees. But you give kabaddi mat to one bunch of youth and they will be so fit, right? So all these are low hanging fruits. But what we do is we cut corners. right? When we buy cycle for our own children, we buy from Decathlon Triban. But when we want to give in CSR, we will buy those gully cycles. That we should never do. Okay, so skilling, Hyderabad has so many centers for skilling. The list is endless. So please, whenever you try to spend something on skilling, don't try to reinvent the wheel. We spend too much money on honorariums and all these things. Skilling centers are right here. You don't need to spend on skilling. Just give them transportation. So that is what I did in Kottagudam. From the remotest village of Kottagudam, we spent buses of 2020 youth to these existing skilling centers, and everything was taken care of. Don't splurge your money on unnecessary things. Use it wisely to create a lot of change. Similarly, so this is something I passionately believe in. We have to create resilient rural agriculture. If we don't do that, we will keep running into same problems. There are many good organizations like AgriGhar, Kheti, and many such firms are there which are doing small interventions. What we need to do is invest in the mother units. So create a hatchery for poultry, create a nursery for vegetables, for fruit trees, for fodder, for herbs, create mushroom spawn, and also brick making. Okay, so yeah, so now these are all images. The presentation is done. I'll just show you the pictures and I'll be off stage. So in Kottagudam, in 1 year, we achieved 800 acres of moringa. When we started off, people were like, "Meeru tappu chestunaru, idi fail aitadi, gomoli purugu vastadi, mekalu tinestai." Nothing happened. If you do it with proper intent and honest effort, everything will succeed. 800 acres in one district. If we do it across the state, we can easily compete with Tamil Nadu. Most of our mulakkaya comes from Tamil Nadu. So Telangana can become a hub. So next, quarter-acre vegetable farm. We always try to convert farmers into vegetable farmers by converting acres and acres. That I feel that it won't work. We should always give them awareness on quarter-acre. So this lady's name is Bhavani. I remember her name. In 2 to 3 months, they came back with these vegetables. It's such an easy model to replicate. All you need to do is give them a bunch of bamboo stakes, some GI wire, mulching sheet, seed kit, and that's it. They will achieve. So similarly, biochar. Biochar is something that we need to work on in a big way, so to protect our soils. And these small kilns can help us handle our organic waste and also create a difference. Similarly, bamboo plantation is the best way to counter climate change. So it is a good source of income. We need to invest in it. Similarly, solar dryers. Telangana is a sunshine state. We have abundant sun. To preserve anything, the first option is not cold storage. We should go into solar drying. So similarly, aquaculture also, all of us like to eat koramina. Koramin per kg is 450 rupees in the market. But if you see at a farm level, it will be hardly 250 to 300 rupees. And unfortunately, most of our fish comes from out of the state. This huge potential is there, sitting right here. We need to invest in it, and corporates can bring that change. Generally, what happens is people think 1 acre, we have to excavate 1 acre. This wrong notion is there. Telangana has to come up with its own model. 1 gunta is enough to do fisheries. Only 1 gunta. So mushrooms also. I am so proud of this lady. In Munkalpalli Mandal, in the middle of forest, there is a village, Chautigudem. And a tribal woman created this change. She set up a unit of mushroom in the middle of forest. So all of us who feel that we are so daring and all these things, I think we are nothing in comparison to this lady. She shows the potential that Telangana farmers have. We need to encourage such people to set up more mushroom units. What is the raw material for that? It's paddy straw. We have so much of paddy. You need to just take the straw, put mushroom spawn, and we can produce mushrooms. So goat trading is also something which has huge potential. Just a bunch of 10 goats can give you steady income year round. Quail farming, I keep talking about this because its turnaround time is hardly 45 days. All of us eat chicken, right? Most of it has antibiotic injections. We don't bother about it. Our kids struggle to eat that big egg. Quail is a bird which is forgotten. We used to eat it here in our state, but slowly it has gone into margins. 45 days, we get good meat, good eggs, small size eggs which kids love to eat. These are the ideas which are suitable for Telangana, and you can think about setting it up. Only 30,000 rupees will help you set up one QA unit. And don't believe me, go to Kottagodam and see. The women have done it there. And so in Cherla, which is the remotest mandal of Kottagodam, there women have made Ippa Laddu. I think a unit also is there here in the stalls. So huge potential is there. All of the health issues that we are having that can be countered using forest produce. And this is what I was talking about. Every soil in Telangana, red soil has sand already. All you need to do is add lime, add some cement, compress it, and without burning any coal or any timber, you can create bricks. And with those bricks, you can build your walls, your schools, libraries, compound walls, everything that you need. So we have built roads here. This is an Anganwadi built by tribal communities on their own. All I did was I went on a Sunday, gave them this machine, did some work with them, and then they built their own Anganwadi. So now tell me, where is the logic in spending funds on the whole building? All you need to do is give them this machine, give them training, and let them build their own Anganwadi. Tomorrow if they have to build another structure, they will build on their own. So these are the youth from Kottagodam who had come to Hyderabad for training, and all of them are now in furniture industries. Some of them are in IKEA also. Yeah, so it all starts with one believer, one demo unit, one active staff, one officer, one motivated person, one progressive village. One success story is enough. Maybe a mistake, one lesson learned, and one focus. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Shri Jitesh V. Patil, for sharing your valuable vision regarding governance, public infrastructure, and sustainable development.
Alright, now before we move on to the next segment, we have a short 3 minutes break where we will move on to the panel discussion. But I can see the audience is almost half asleep, and we have planned a short engagement activity for the audience. And we have some questions and also some goodies for the audience who answers my questions correctly. So let us come down to you and ask a few questions, and let us see who will answer our questions rightly.
Are you guys ready?
check.
Hello.
Yes, thank you so much. We have just postponed the audience engagement activity for a couple of minutes. We might plan it for our next segment because we have the panelists ready for the panel discussion. So let us move on to the panel discussion for the today, for the first panel discussion of the day. It is ESG and government synergy.
Achieving long-term sustainability requires seamless alignment between corporate, environmental, social, and governance commitments and government policy. Please welcome our panel moderator and distinguished speakers to the stage.
Now, welcoming the first moderator, Mohammad Sharafuddin Sharif, Senior EHS Sustainability Professional. Can we have the moderator on the stage, please? Mohammad Sharafuddin Sharif, Senior EHS Sustainability Professional. Our first speaker in the panel would be Kalpana Ramesh, founder at the Rainwater Project.
Next is JSR Annamaya, IEC, Pan India Head at Gamki Sustainability. Nitai Jeevana Das, Chief CSR Officer at ISKCON.
Can we welcome them with a round of applause, please? Thank you. All right. I think the discussion is over to you. The moderator, we request you to please start the panel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jai Hind and very good morning. Am I audible? Warm welcome to the ESG panel. Okay, so we have today because a very distinguished, panelists here, and they all are, achievers in their own field. So today, when I talk about sustainability, while we wait for one more guest, I think probably make it. So I was just, we all are here from the different corporates representing and different spheres of life, on the audience, and the students are also there. I can understand. So basically, we are talking about Mother Earth. Exactly. I was in sustainability conference from CA. I'm very honored. I am the senior assistant from CA. So the vice chancellor of Anna University, he was the chief guest, the keynote speaker. He started with the saying that the Mother Earth, you all call Earth as the Mother Earth, right? The Mother Earth is a sink, S-I-N-K, sink, for all the S-I-N-S for the humanity. It's a very big statement, right? So the business leaders, to put the context of the ESG session today, I take you to the business leaders here in the Davos, they assemble, right? To talk about the various risks and the business strategies in Davos in the January every year, right? So I'm quoting them, the 1,450 leaders, they all told us what are the top 5 risks associated with the globe. So if I had to quote them, every year till 2024, 2025, except 2025, where the geopolitical risk is, because of the recent conflicts and all. So the climate action failure or the climate risk is one of the major risks the entire globe is going through presently. We all have failed our planet, to be very frank. We have failed. The Mother Earth, as I speak to you today, you know that we are using more than 1.75 Earth. You might ask, what is that? The Earth, it has got a regenerative capacity, you all know that, right? So every year, you use a lot of things. Every year we want a new phone. We need some natural resources, right? Silica and everything, right? We want cloth, everything, everybody is doing that. Industrialization is, so every year you extract a lot of natural resources from the earth and Mother Earth generates back. No questions asked in 1971, not now. Today as I speak to you, because of it continues to strain itself and deliver, you are asking more than 1.75 earth as of today as I speak to you. If the extraction, the misuse or the abuse of the natural resources goes like this, we need to, or I don't know where we'll get, still we are exploring Mars. So that is that, and so that's the reason we need to all, of course, the business also, as I speak to you, Chennai is, I'm just recent floods in Chennai 2023. All the IT companies have, we have submerged, extreme weather conditions, extreme heat. As per the NASA 2023 and 2024, the global warmest years, hottest year, not warm. So I have to put that context here and then bring that, so with that context as a ESG, why we are talking about this? No more a boardroom discussion, ESGs. Today, the environmental, the stewardship is taking a front seat, and the business, as we all know that, businesses are there for, profit maximization. But today we all also report the sustainability aspects. The Gen Z, as per the Boston Consulting Group, Gen Z, they are interested, more than 75% people. They would like to join a company which is more responsible towards their country, towards their, the globe as a whole. How much they are sustainable. Today, as I speak to you, even the sustainable finance, the cap and trade mechanism, because the pollutions have gone to a place where we are, as anthropogenic emissions have taken to the roof. We require greenhouse gas, right? We all require, we all have studied in the school, right? To keep ourselves warm, we do require greenhouse gases, let me tell you. But then you may say, why are we trying to mitigate all this show? Because of the very fact, the human-induced emissions, the man-made emissions, what we call, that's called anthropogenic emissions. They are the ones which are creating havoc. So to control that, that's the reason the carbon amount, what we call the global warming, right? We all know that the global warming is happening. So to have that, because of that, all the facets, you can see that whether it is US or whether in Australia, the extreme weather conditions, we can find that. So we need to do a business responsibly. We need to account the carbon. I'm not saying stop the industry, right? But we also need to do business in a more sustainable way. That's why the United Nations has given a target to be net zero by 2050. So, but we said every country has got their own challenges. So India said we can be net zero by 2070. That's correct, right? So China said they can be net zero by 2060. And US said, of course, they are polluted already kind of thing. So they said they will be net zero by 2050. So every organization has to, work towards that. As I speak to you, the land of Telangana is one of the states which has given the vision document for 2047. You all are agreed. And this will be the first state, I want an applause here, to want to become net zero by 2047 and 100 years of our centenary celebrations. That spirit we have to work on. So with that I'll start. So carbon mitigation, yes. And I will take liquid carbon, then I have water experts, and we have a use case. ISKCON, you all know that, right? I mean, they are there for years, and they are celebrating 60 years. This year, as I speak to you, they are celebrating 60 years. It's not only the purest form of temples, it's also more than temples. We'll talk about that. They are so many, the working with the villages, working with the roots, we'll talk about that also. So, climate mitigation, when I talk about, I will start with carbon. Carbon mitigation is one of the most important. Today, I will speak to you the corporate real estate emissions. I mean, we all talk about buildings. The real estate emits almost 39% carbon emissions, right? And we have like waste expert. The overall waste, the methane emissions are more dangerous. Some of the science students will know. The methane is 28 to 30 times more dangerous than carbon dioxide. Okay, so though the global waste emissions are only 20%, but they are very, very crucial. We have a waste expert here today. He's JSR Annamaya. He's in a leadership there, team, and we speak about and also a climate clock. Today you will come to know about the time is ticking, guys. Time is ticking. He will talk about that also. Okay. So yeah. So what are so without doing any ado, so maybe I can start with Annamaya. Can you just talk on the waste emissions, 20% waste emissions, not that and then also on the clock is ticking on all of us. Yeah, I request you to speak on that. Mike.
Hello. Yeah. So good morning to each and every individual. Thanks to the moderator, thanks to the co-panelists, all the standing protocol members here. I'm very fortunate to speak some real truths which are very important, which are missing in our daily life. My dear friends, from all the corners over here, tell me how many people heard about the terminology called climate clock? Please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3. Now you can understand. There is a clock representation by UN in 2020. Within a span of next 2 years, 362 days, there is a temperature rise of 1.5 degree. It's a clear cut of evidence line. I hope you see this clock, which is available on your web page. Now, it's a direct question to each and every individual. What is your contribution to reduce the carbon? When you are going to the malls, people are attracting buy one get one free. If you go to any shops, attracting the combo offers. In a Hyderabad, in the cycle of 24 hours, Hyderabad will generate 11,000 tons of waste every day. Do you believe? It's a very toughest job for the municipal administrations to handle the waste. Now, in the similar way, we are seeing the heat wave in this last summer. How many people are treating waste as a dignity? Can you please raise your hands? Okay. Today, I am working with many municipal administrations and working on Swachh Bharat mission. Every house will generate 450 to 750 grams of waste every day. But unfortunately, we are turning very bad. The life expectancy of a municipal worker has been dropped down from 53 to 48 years. Only because of the disposal, what we are doing. We used to mix the wet waste, we used to mix the dry waste, syringes, diapers, whatever. Even though in any glass is broken from every individual. Today morning you are from one place to here. Do you have your steel cutlery? No. We are coming from the one place to here, opting any public transport? No. Every indicator will directly and indirectly reach to the carbon oxide. The ultimate solution is simple living. So, representing Ramki Sustainability and Ramki Foundation, entire Hyderabad waste is going to handle with the support of municipal administrations by us. We are generating more than 40 megawatt of power from the garbage you throw every day. By the vision document of Telangana Rising, we can clearly say by 2047 Telangana should be the methane neutral. For that, we are setting up a 200 megawatt of waste energy plant. When keep on reaching to households to say about waste segregation, you know what are the answers we are getting? ఇప్పుడు కాదు తర్వాత worker వచ్చి when they are asking for one glass of water in the households, you please go and ask in the next house. If I ask you the question in your mobile phone, how many contacts are there who are the daily cleaners in your area? We are very unfortunate to say. Reason being, they all are treated as a dignity only on the labour scale. change the perception of thought, reduce the waste you generate every day. Try to balance it. Whenever you are coming out, make sure a habit to carry your own bag. By the CSR Now Summit, let's commit with a simple action. Carry your own bag. It has to be always attached with you. Step 1. Like Sir has mentioned the concept of ESG. It was coined in 2004. In my perspective, ESG always connected E for ecosystem, S for society, and G for the generations. Sir, people are suffering a lot due to the heat waves. Please understand, to become a carbon neutral of each and every individual, we need to plant 6,000 plants, every individual. Now question to you, like where we are standing, with a global coalition, with all our support, ensure a less footprint Hyderabad with all our hands, and seeing the sense of responsibility, the human behavior shift. Thank you. Thank you.
That was a great, I think, overview on the waste management. And also, you also understood about the climate clock, right? The time is ticking for all of us to be within that 1.5 degrees centigrade. Because what happens? You might ask, if we cross the global average temperature, the average temperature crosses, above the pre-industrial level. So what will happen? Some of the countries may not be there. That's what even the Maldives may not be there. Industry and Mumbai and all will have, so much of severe storms and all, and the flooding kind of thing. And of course, extreme weather conditions, all other indices are already, visible, clearly visible. That's the reason we all are working. Every company is taking the science-based targets. Today, as I speak to you, the carbon mitigation program, not only the overall energy efficiency program which we all take, but also the water stewardship. If you know that today India is in the wrong company, you are aware of that? In terms of water, we are around, population-wise, we are 18% of the global population, and we only have 4% of the usable water. Just imagine there are going to be water wars, and there is so much which we need to be doing. Not that water is not available, we do not know how to store, how to utilize, or rather we are being taught. The problem is that we are not being scientifically taught. There may be some case studies which you have seen in your school days, but never the conservation in our minds when it comes to usage. And we have today, I'm very, very honored to have Kalpana ji here, who has done wonderful work on this water restoration projects, and her work speaks for herself. You must be knowing. Kalpana ji, just I want to give you this. Over to you.
Thank you so much. I completely agree with whatever you've said. It's so true that behavior change is the one thing that has to change. Every climate clock will come back to order. This is the one thing that we have been struggling against. When it comes to water, everyone talks about the waterfall from flyovers. Today, everyone is talking about data bank centers and the kind of water that it's going to extract. But who is talking about what have you done in your own home? What have you done in your own community, in your own school, in your own office, in your own organization? This is what is behavior change. It's actually not so technical when it comes to water and water conservation. The first step is simply common sense. Common sense understanding of how much we consume. What can we give back? What can we restore? We get so much water from the river. We get in the range of 585 mgd, which is million gallons of liters, into the city from Godavari, Krishna rivers, which is our food security of tomorrow. How many of us are really bothered about Manjira water being used in flushes? They're flushing away the river water which comes to us. The farthest point is about 190, 200 kilometers. We get it from 70 kilometers, 120, 180, 170, and then also 200 kilometers. And all of these sources are very, very valuable for the planet, for the larger vision. But how, as a city, Not just Hyderabad, every other city is erasing a river in multiple ways. But why can't we become sustainable? We are blessed with huge amount of rainfall in Hyderabad. So as a water warrior working for 15 years on ground, I can definitely say this, we don't have water scarcity, it's a created problem. We don't know how to manage our water at an individual level, at an organizational level. We don't know how to manage water. That's the problem with our city today. The moment it was open ground, the water needs to naturally drain in it. The moment you concrete it, you better have other methods of recharging or sending water back to the ground. When you have 85% of our city covered with concrete, isn't it the most important priority for every building? So I come from an architecture background. The reason I started working for water conservation is also that from our own fraternity, we only look at the basic mandatory bylaws which the corporation asks us to and fulfill that as a number of pits, or if you're above 300 square yards, you need to do a rainwater pit. But we don't think beyond that. We have to start thinking today beyond that. Every community, every individual has to think, what is the water footprint? Water footprint is not only the visible water, it's also the clothes that you wear. You change your clothes 10 times and you run your washing machine twice or thrice every day. That's water. So water footprint is everywhere. The water that takes to manufacture your clothes is water. How mindfully you should be doing. Because tomorrow your coffee is going to cost you more simply because the water that to grow that coffee is going to go up. The cost of water is going to go up. So everything impacts us only. So we have to start working reverse and start understanding how to make this change. So as an enterprise, as an NGO, my effort the last more than 1.5 decade now is simply to create a neighborhood water authority. I mean, we tried working city-wide and understood it's very multi-layered and we have to get multiple organizations and connect with the government, the community. Do you know who it is the toughest to work with? Not finding funds, not working with the government. The toughest is to work with the communities. It's funny, but it's true. Because when you ask anyone who is working at a grassroots level on ground, you will understand this is the truth. Even to make a lake happen, you're working with the wrong set of people who are encroached to do something right for the lake. Imagine that uphill battle. So the point is, you only talk about rights as a society. We don't talk about responsibilities or duties. I feel rights and duties have to be half and half. If you've done something right, you have every right to question. But if you've not done anything right and you want to question, that doesn't work. We should go back to the basics and make water conservation part of our lives. Start understanding. It starts from quantifying what is the water we use as an individual, what is the water we use